To my mother's memory, who was German, Phrygian, Armenian and, of course, Hungarian. This audiobook is for those who want to look at how the Armenians thought about themselves and their origins in early medieval times. Mobses is regarded as the first to write a complete history of the origins of the Armenians in the Armenian language, right after the country was divided into two parts by the two superpowers of his time, the Byzantine Empire and Persia, a state with a distinct religion, Zoroastrianism, at that time. Mobses spoke Greek and primarily used Greek Christian sources, however, he also included the oral traditions of the local people. As the Armenians could not regain their full independence until the 20th century, and because the Crusaders could not save the country from the spreading Islamic powers, the Armenians maintained their identity through their unique culture. Although the country consisted of different ethnic groups, which is proven by the DNA of some diasporic families, most of the Armenians in Turkey were killed in 1915. It was, and still is, not an easy task to preserve their culture today, as the country remains in a difficult geopolitical situation as a neighbor of Iran, the homeland of the paradise attacked by the American superpower. This is a free book. Title: History of the Armenians. Part 1. Attributed to Mobses of Xoren. Translated from Classical Armenian. By Robert Bedrosian. For Beyond Miloyan. Available at Internet Archive as an attachment to the Classical Armenian text, here. This translation is in the public domain. It may be copied and distributed freely. Books 1 and 2 published on the Internet, 2024, Book 3, 2025. Translator's Preface. A note on pagination. Additional resources. Table of contents. The following table of contents was created for the convenience of readers and is not part of the Armenian text. Book 1. Genealogy of Greater Armenia. 1. Mobses replies to his patron, Sahak Bagratuni, praising his wisdom in supporting the writing of a book about Armenian antiquities. None of the princes and nobles before Sahak had the foresight to do such a thing. Mobses promises to reveal the ancient history of Sahak's glorious Bagratid family along with the histories of the other Armenian clans. 2. Although the Persians and Chaldeans have many books which recount details of Armenian history, Mobses will take mostly from Greek authors. This includes Greek translations of the Chaldean author Beresus. Mobses considers Greek historical writing more precise and better than Mesopotamian and Persian accounts. 3. Criticism of the lack of interest in Armenian antiquities shown by the first kings and princes of the Armenians. Mobses reveals that the Armenians did record some of their affairs in Persian and Greek, but that no one had collected these documents into a single useful national history. Mobses himself will compile such a lengthy history of the Armenians, to the glory of his patron, and in the hopes that others will appreciate his labors. He will take from secular pagan authors only what he considers reliable. 4. Mobses notes discrepancies in the genealogies of Adam and his descendants found in different versions of the Old Testament. 5. The genealogies of Noah and his descendants are provided G13 G18, with concentration on Japheth's descendants. 6. Discussion of the most ancient material and inconsistencies in the differing accounts. 7. Differing accounts about the giant Bel, and who he really was. 8. Mobses describes the beginnings of Armenian historiography in the reign of King Vaurshak, brother of Arshak the Great, king of the Persians. 9. Letter of Vaurshak, king of the Armenians, to Arshak the Great, king of the Persians. 10. About the rebellion of Hayek. 11. About the war between Hayek and Bel, the death of Bel, and what followed. 12. About the clans and generations descending from Hayek, and what each of them did. 13. Regarding the war and victory over the inhabitants of the East, and about the death of Nick Armades. 14. About fighting against the Assyrians, and the Armenians' victory, and also regarding Pe Apis Kai and Caesarea and the geographical designations. First Armenia and the other Armenias. 15. About Ara and his death in warfare with Shamaram, Semiramis. 16. How Shamaram built the city and aqueduct and her own home after Ara's death. 17. About Shamaram, why she killed her sons, and how she fled to Armenia, escaping from the mage Zoroaster Zeratusht, and how she died at the hands of her son, Ninuas. 18. Concerning the certainty that Shamaram first waged war in India and later died in Armenia. 19. What transpired after the death of Shamaram. 19.20. Genealogies. The agreement of the genealogy of our people with those of the Hebrews and Chaldeans down to Sardanapalus, who was called Tanos Konkaliros. 20. About Ara, the son of Ara, and his son, Anashawan Sazanuar. 21. Perur, son of Sciordi, becomes the first king among the Armenians. He helps the Mede Varbak to take possession of the Median kingdom from Sardanapalus. 22. The order of our kings and their number, from father to son. 23. About the sons of Sennacherib, from whom are descended the Artsruni and the Nuni houses and the house of the one called the Dishk of Akdiznik. And, in the same chapter, that the house of Anjig descends from Paskam. 24. Regarding Tigran, what kind of person he was in everything. 25. About Asdahak's fear and doubt over the friendly unity between Cyrus and Tigran. 26. How Asdahak, in his suspicion, saw his future destiny in a marvelous dream. 27. About the advice of his advisers, his own thoughts, and the course of action he took at once. 2.